We'll start with the prayers. Om Bhadram Karneभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृत्तस्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्ताक्षोररिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. We are almost coming to the end of the third chapter. We are in the 40th verse. There are 9 more verses before we end this chapter. From 40th verse to the 48th verse is a portion called as Vedantic meditation. How to cross over our Mula Avidya or Maya. This is the highest spiritual status described by Gaudapada Acharya. These 9 verses are almost like private notes of a realized master. It is called as Nidhyasanam portion. All of you know Shravanam Mananam. Many a times we don't know what is Nididhyasanam. If you focus on a detailed study of these 9 verses, you will never have a doubt about what is Nididhyasanam. Another important topic which is discussed in these 9 verses is Mano Nigraha, mind discipline. All of us want to have mind discipline, but we don't know how to attain this mind discipline, mind control. Out of the 70 volumes of notes which you have gone through so far, almost 3,500-600 pages, I consider this volume to be the best volume, which gives a summary of all we have learned in Mandukya Bashyam. You will agree with me when you come to the 47th and 48th verse. Let us now start with where we stopped last week, that is the 40th verse. This is, I think we have finished the 40th verse, so we will start with the 41st verse. All these verses are extremely important. I am going to go slow. I want all of you to understand each mantra very, very carefully so that you can understand what is Vedantic vision of world. Let's first chant this mantra. Let's see how Vijaya chants this.
उत्सेक उदधेर्यद्वत् उत्सेक उदधेर्यद्वत् कुशाग्रेणैकबिन्दुना कुशाग्रेणैकबिन्दुना मनसो निग्रहस्तद्वद् मनसो निग्रहस्तद्वद् भवेदपरिखेदतः भवेदपरिखेदतः.
As I told you, these verses are also going to deal with mind control. How do I control my mind, which is a product of prarabdha karma? All our minds are products of prarabdha karma. In this life, I have brought a particular mindset which I have no control. This mindset will give me the karma phala. That is the vision of Veda. The mind can be brought under control by effort. Abhyasaha. I will show you the Bhagavad Gita verse. I am sure all of you remember that, where Lord Krishna tells us, Abhyasena tu kaunteya. Vairagena. These Abhyasa and Vairagyam are two methods of controlling the mind. Not only for spiritual benefit, also for our day-to-day life. How big is this effort? Gaudapadacharya gives us an example. Suppose you sit in a beach and you want to empty the entire ocean, and you just take a blade of kusha grass, blade, not even a big leaf. With the help of the blade, you're taking drop by drop and trying to empty the ocean. How much effort will you require? So much is the effort required for this control of mind. It is a very, very slow process. It cannot be rushed. You will see the benefit gradually. That is the essence of this. Thought displacement skill. I'm calling it TDS. Thought displacement skill is mind control. What are the main thoughts which disturb us? One is insecurity. I am afraid of something in life. What happened to me 10 years down the road or 20 years down the road? Second thought pattern is constant worries. Constant worries. I'm worried about my job. I'm worried about my health. I'm worried about my family. I'm worried about my profession. Constantly, I'm worried. Now, how do I develop the skill to displace the worry, fear, desire, anger, jealousy? How do I develop the skill to displace these worldly thoughts with of Vedantic thoughts? First of all, we should understand that skill is called as TDS, thought displacement. Now, first we should understand what is the cause of these thoughts. There are three broad causes for thought generation. The first one is very, very common. We all know this. The external world is a gateway for the thoughts in our mind. It's called as world-based thoughts, including our family members. Our worry about a family, profession, all that will come under this external world thoughts. The second cause is vasana-based thoughts, on which we have no control, zero control. I don't know what type of vasanas I have in my mind. Karana Sharira. So, Karana Shariram will keep on bubbling up thoughts throughout our life. The third cause is will. Our will generates thoughts. Suppose I want to chant Nirvana Shatkam and I want to meditate, contemplate on Nirvana Shatkam. Mano buddhi chittani naham. I want to contemplate. This is will-based thought. So when I sit in meditation, there is always a tug of war between these three causes. One is will-based, another is world-based, another is vasana-based. So 99.9% of the meditators who start meditating will fail because of these three reasons. Back at your own meditation 3 years ago, 5 years ago, when we started meditation sessions. You will agree with me that today you are better off than when you started. I don't know whether it is 5% improvement or 60% improvement. Some people tell me it's 50, 60% improvement. Some people tell me 30% improvement. But is improvement because of abhyasa, constant practice. Now the bhashyam for this mantra starts. In this bhashyam, Shankaracharya talks about Ashtanga Yoga and Upasana. Ashtanga Yoga is for integrating the human personality. Yoga has got a philosophy of Dvaitam, which we don't accept. We means what? Advaitim. But Ashtanga Yoga we accept. Chitta Vritti Nirodha. I empty my mind with all the thoughts. I discipline all the involuntary thoughts. That portion we accept. It is these involuntary thoughts which take my mind as a hostage. And then I just have to work. I live my entire life with the help of these. When the mind is taken as a hostage, I live my life. Whatever the three causes, they throw up the thoughts, I act. I get raga, I get dvesha, I get jealousy, I get all the problems of the mind. Prarabdha brings several situations, events in life. Suddenly your son is not well, suddenly your son gets a PhD, you feel very happy or you feel very sad. I mean, these events, it is there for all of us and we don't know control them. And these events, they control our mind. The only way to make this prarabdha problem insignificant is to bring in Vedantic thoughts. Suppose you take a paper and I tell you, you draw a small line. And I tell you, I want you to make this line longer. So how will you make? The moment you make the line longer, the small one becomes insignificant. Similarly, by bringing in Vedantic thoughts which are bigger, more pervasive, your finite thoughts of prarabdha, they get reduced. We talk about higher thoughts, Paramartika Tattvam. By doing that, we are drawing the line higher, drawing the line bigger. We shorten the ahamkara line and we increase the sakshi line. All of us have got two lines which we can draw in our mind. Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna in the third chapter, in the third verse, says very clearly, there are two lifestyles, Karma Yoga Pradhana and Jnana Yoga Pradhana. Lokesmin dvidha nishtha, paraprokta mayanagha. Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga. Sankhya Yoga means Jnana Yoga. In the presence of Atma, the mind or Arabdha, Ahamkara becomes a non-entity. These are all very, very fine conclusions drawn by Shankaracharya. We are reading Shankaracharya's commentary on this verse. Shankaracharya is telling us, keep remembering your Swarupam, which is Surya Atma, and you will face life much better. Like in a wedding, before the Mangala Sutra is tied, what do they do to the bride? Before they tie the Mangala Sutra, what do they? Then suddenly somebody from behind will say, come on, I want Gitti Melam. Gitti Melam means you increase the pitch of your music, of your tabla, of your nadaswaram, whatever it is. Now, when that happens, what happens? All the amangala thoughts in the minds of the people who are watching the wedding, that is completely gone. Suppose somebody is thinking of something wrong. By the time you have the Geti Melam, what happens? This Mangalam Vadyam, this auspicious music ends all the thoughts which are in your mind, and everybody is clapping their hands and they want good wishes for the couple. So, Geti Melam in Vedanta is Sakshi Atma thought. Very beautiful example. So, the moment you keep on having this Geti Melam or this music which is going on in your mind, this increase of Sakshi Aham will reduce your Ahamkara Aham. This is the only way in which the mind will obey my commandment, says Shankaracharya. Practice this daily. Not whenever you have a crisis, at that time you say Vairagyam and I am Atma and all that. It will not work. It is like digging a well when the house is on fire. It doesn't work. To withstand the sorrows in life, we need to build up this Sakshi Jnanam, Ahamkara to reduce, Sakshi Jnanam, Sakshi remembrance has to grow. Normally speaking, in Brahmacharya lifestyle, they teach this to the Brahmacharis in the yoga, in the Patashala, and they chant Gayatri Japam, they will do all the different chantings for not 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It goes on for 3 hours and 4 hours. 1 hour, 2 hour in the morning, 2 hours in the evening. So for who are grihasthas, the best way is to practice chanting like Vishnu Sahasranamam, Lalita Sahasranamam, and at the end of it, sit for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and invoke the thought, I am Sakshi Atma. Whenever your mind is quiet after any chanting, the best thing to do is sit quietly for 5 to 10 minutes. Those 5-10 minutes you will enjoy. And don't sit doing nothing. At that time, you have to say, Aham Atma Asmi. You may or may not understand the meaning of Atma completely. It doesn't matter. It may not be after japa and all that. You can just get up in the morning when you feel a little sattvic mind, sit down and let your mind run through these thoughts. Through this practice, you will get mano nigraha, you will get akshaya shanti. Akshaya shanti means shanti which does not perish, eternal peace. You will discover it. You have to practice it. This is a promise of Shankaracharya. He says you practice this. All what we are doing is understanding his commentary. Generally speaking, our mind has got coexistence of worry and a little bit of jnana. 5% jnanam, 95% worry. But we have to change this equation. See, to have physical strength, you can do some gym, go to the gym and do some exercises, you will develop physical strength. But mental strength, you will get only in this nididhyasanam, Atma Tattvam, meditation on Atma Tattva. So mind is an instrument, it's a subtle instrument we all have. This is provided to us by the Lord, who is in charge of this creation. But to control that, like I explained to you before, is like emptying the ocean with the help of grass. Relentless effort is required. And in Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, Lord Krishna says, Tam vidya dukkha samyoga viyogam yoga sanhitam. What is yoga? Yoga is dropping the union with the pain, severance, cutting off the union of the mind with the pain. That is yoga. Pain means what? Thoughts, painful thoughts. And how should we practice? How should we get rid of this mental thoughts, mental pain? With determination. Nishchayena yoktavyoha yogo nirvinna chetasa. Again, the next verse it says, Sankalpa prabhavan kaman tyaktva sarvan sheshataha manasairendriya gramam viniyamyam samantataha. Abandoning all the desires born out of sankalpa. How do you do this? By bringing in Atma thoughts. शनै शनैरूपरमेत् बुद्ध्या धृतिगृहीतयः आत्मसंस्थं मनः कृत्वा न किञ्चिदपि चिन्तयेत् यथो यथो निश्चरति मनश्चञ्चलमस्थिरम् ततस्ततो नियम्यैतद् आत्मन्येव वशं नयेत् Shanai Shanai, slowly, slowly. The sixth chapter of Bhagavad Gita is a very important chapter. It teaches us mind control, how to get that mind control. We are going to see all the obstacles for this mind control. In this section, we are going to see what are the four obstacles which are there in mind control. So, without getting depressed, without getting despondent, you can control the mind. That is the conclusion of Gaudapada Acharya and Shankaracharya. In the next, in the next, in the next Karika, in the next introduction to Karika number 42, Shankaracharya says, is only effort enough? But we need a strategy. What is that strategy? Let us see.
उपायेन निगृह्णीयाद् उपायेन निगृह्णीयाद् विक्षिप्तं कामभोगयोः विक्षिप्तं कामभोगयोः सुप्रसन्नं लये चैव सुप्रसन्नं लये चैव यथा कामो लयस्तथा यथा कामो लयस्तथा.
Again, a very beautiful analysis of the mind. A mind which is distracted by desires and for enjoying the pleasures is called as laya. Now, this laya can be brought out by some methods. So, what are the two things? Laya. Laya means mind becoming stabda. That means you go into trance. That is one problem. The second problem is our agitations because of desires. That means vikshepa. These are the two obstacles we are going to discuss in this 42nd mantra. Two obstacles. Vikshepa means projections. Projections means our thoughts of desire. Kama and Kama, which is basically Rajoguna. So, what are the two problems mainly in meditation? One main problem is the gurgling thoughts which come up in our mind. Why do they come? Because of Vikshepa Shakti. Vikshepa Shakti is Rajoguna Pradhana. All of you know Rajas means agitations. Adna asked this question very beautifully. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramati balavad dridham tasyaham nigraham manye vayoriva dushkaram. My mind is chanchalam, is absolutely restless. Pramati, it is turbulent. It is balavad, strong. Dridham, it is firm, unyielding. That is my mind. This is the mind for all of us. What are the four things? Number one, it is restless. Chanchalam. Second, it is turbulent. It is like the volcano erupting. And the third quality of the mind is it's very, very strong. My willpower has got no use. I say to my mind, please keep quiet, but my mind cannot keep quiet. Unyielding. Meditation requires suppression of rajoguna and tamoguna. Rajoguna is one problem, tamoguna is sleep. When my mind is tired, it wants to go to sleep. Now, how to get rid of these two problems is going to be discussed in this section in the 42nd mantra. What is the solution for wandering mind? What is the solution for dozing off mind? You can all read at your own time. If you are a very serious student, you can read these paragraphs. I'm not going through each line here. I'm just giving you the gist of this Shankaracharya's explanations. Shankaracharya, don't worry. He says, I will give you some solutions. You try it. We all have kama and bhoga. What is the difference between kama and bhoga? Kama means you have a desire to acquire new objects, new relationships. Bhoga means I want to enjoy those objects which I have already bought, which are in my possession. That is bhoga. Both these kama and bhoga are anatma vishaya. See, when we understand some of these technical aspects of what happens in our mind, then we ourselves will be able to come out with a solution using whatever Shankaracharya says. What are the five pancha anatmas which disturb all the minds, which I have repeated many times? Possessions, profession, family, mind, and body. So, if you analyze your mind at any time, you will 99% you will come and say, yes, you're right. My mind is going either with profession, possessions, family, my own body, or mind. This is nothing but ahamkara and mamakara. Ahamkara is I am this body, I am this mind, and it is troubling me. Mamakara means I have a family, I have a profession, I have some possessions. Ahamkara and mamakara are the two byproducts of avidya. What avidya? Mula avidya. I don't know I am Atma, I don't know I am Sakshi. And then I have, because of this power, which is because of this ignorance, my mind keeps on thinking about all these five areas. So mind is stuck in them. Very difficult to take it up. How should I pull back the mind from this anatma of five areas? One is upasana. Second is by nididhyasana. What is the difference between upasana and nididhyasana? Meditation done before shravanam of scriptures is called as upasana. Suppose I meditate on Rama, Sita, Krishna. before coming to Vedanta, before coming to Atma, Anatma, Viveka, and all that, it is called as Upasana. It is in triangular format. Triangular format means what? Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara. So, fixing your mind on Lord Vishnu is Upasana or Vishwarupa Upasana as described in Bhagavad Gita. Nididhyasanam is after Shravanam and after Mananam. After you've done Atma Anatma Viveka in your own mind, you come to a conclusion the world is nothing but Atma and Anatma. Atma means consciousness, sentiency. Anatma means body, mind, and the world. So, Nididhyasanam means you know about Atma. And what do you do in Nididhyasanam? You say, I am Sakshi. And everything else which comes to your mind, you say is Anatma, Neti Neti. That is the method of Nididhyasana. I am Sthula Sukshma Karana Vitirikta Atma, which is called as Sakshi. But what happens generally? I say I want to meditate, but the mind says I will do what I want. I will think about the profession. I will think about the Panchana. Generally, you see, we go to a garden. Some people they take their dog for a walk, but instead of they leading the dog leads them. The dog makes them run. When you lead the dog, it is good. That is, you are leading the mind. You are in control of the mind. But suppose the dog is driving you, it makes you run, it means the mind is making you run. In meditation, I want to take the mind to a particular field, but the mind takes its own field of Pancha and Atma. Therefore, Shanai Shanai Ruparame. Therefore, this is a big challenge for a meditator. Mind should be fixed on Ishta Devata. Whenever you have a Vikshepa problem, bring it to Atma Jnanam. So, Vikshepa problem you solve by Atma Jnana. What about dozing off, sleep state? Generally speaking, when the eyes are closed, the mind knows it is time to sleep. Therefore, a suggestion, this is a time for meditation, is the remedy for this sleep. Tell yourself that I am in the seat of meditation and invoke again Atma thoughts. That is what Shankaracharya will describe in this section. So, in this paragraph, so one Vikshepa we have tackled. Second, this paragraph is when the mind is fully peaceful in sleep, why should it be awakened? Because you want to control the mind from the sleep state. So mind in sleep is a problem for all of us. That is not meditation. Suppose you sit down at 7 o'clock in the morning and then you just close your eyes. Suppose you have not had enough sleep, what will happen is in meditation you will sleep. What Brihadaneka Upanishad is in the seat of meditation, tell yourself, I am Sakshi Atma, I am not a mother, not a father. I don't have any profession. I am Sakshi. As Sakshi, I have no relationships with the body, mind, and the world. That is what you have to bring in meditation. See, these are all very beautiful sections on how to meditate. If you want to meditate, you choose a right place and then bring in Vedantic thoughts. One of the brilliant mantras for meditation, I have found it very, very useful, is this Prarabdha Upanishad mantra. This mantra here, 4323. When you meditate on this, you will automatically remember Atma. What does this mantra say? In the sleep state, I don't see anything, I don't witness anything in my sleep state because I am Atma, I am Sakshi, I am immortal. So, whenever I'm sleeping, I am not really sleeping, I am awake to my own nature, which is Sakshi Tattvam. The Sakshi Tattvam is consciousness. Consciousness does not lose its state of witnessing. It will witness the mind together with the body and the world in the waking state. It will witness only the mind without the sense organs in the dream state. It will witness the ignorant state of a jiva in the sleep state. So, what do I invoke? I say, I am Sakshi, I am always a witness, whether I am in waking state, dream state, or the sleep state. Try this meditation for 5 or 6 times. You will never go to sleep in meditation. Never. You will get rid of laya. Vikshepa, wandering mind, is an obstacle because of kama, desires. So, two disciplines are required for two obstacles. One is bringing the Atma in both this wandering mind and in sleep, bringing in thoughts of Atma will solve the problem. Okay? One should discipline a wandering mind in the seat of meditation because Rajoguna and Tamoguna are active. Sattvic mind is alert. Suppose you sit in meditation, you find I am absolutely serene. At that time, your mind is sattvic. You can bring in the thought of Atma very easily. So invoke your higher nature that will get rid of the family, body, mind, possessions, and professional thoughts, which are the cause of Rajoguna. Especially in old age, our willpower to control our mind gets tremendously reduced. Tremendously. At a young age, you are able to control better. That's why if you do meditation when you are young, you will have success. My mind wanders in age and my willpower becomes less and less. In Taittiriya Upanishad, it says very beautifully, during old age, what are the worries you have? The worries are twofold. One is what I should have done, I didn't do. Second is what I shouldn't have done, I did. Constantly thinking of these two is the serious problem in old age. Again, for this, the solution is Atma Jnanam. In one go, the whole world should disappear for you, and you should be steady holding on to Turiya Atma. It's possible as we go through these verses, you will find tremendous knowledge about how to achieve this. Mundak Upanishad says, another beautiful mantra, I am the Sakshi Atma. Everything else is of a lower order of reality. I am immortal. Body is mortal. Body is lower order. Vyavaharika Satyam. Who am I? Paramarthika Satyam, Sakshi, Turiya, Atma. Waker, dreamer, sleeper is lower order of reality. So in seat of meditation, what do you say? I am Paramarthika Satya, Turiya, Atma. This is called as invoking the status of Brahman within my own mind. It displaces the world and replaces the mind with Brahman, with Sakshi. When you do these three things continuously, you displace the thoughts with Brahman, you dismiss the thought as Mithya, and dissociate the thoughts by invoking Asanga nature. I am relationless Atma. The three Ds: displace, dismiss, dissociate. All these three can overpower some portion of prarabdha. It cannot overpower the entire prarabdha. If I am able to reduce predominantly all the three Ds, if I am able to apply it, then I am called as Jivan. Then I can enjoy moksha here and now. Moksha means control of mind. Moksha means displacing the thoughts of anatma, bringing in, replacing the thoughts of anatma by atma, so that the atma thoughts become predominant and the anatma thoughts become reduced. 90% of the time, I am Sakshi Pradhana. 10%, yes. I use the mind as an instrument. That's all. So the effort I'm willing to put for the control of mind is very, very important. Now, this next portion is Manonigraha, which I have already discussed, Upasana and Nididhyasanam. What is the difference? We have discussed. Mind wandering is called as Vikshepa. Sleep in meditation is called as Layaha. What are the two other obstacles in the mind? We have seen two now. First one is Vikshepa. Second one is Laya. Third one is called as Kashaya. And the fourth one is called as Rasaswadha. Rasaswadha. In my notes of meditation, if you have joined meditation sessions right in the beginning, about 2-3 years ago, I had given all these four. and I had discussed it before starting meditation, that you have to remove these four obstacles and then sit for meditation. So Laya and Vikshepa are taken up in Karika number 42, and we are going to study the other two in the next verse. Sleep is caused by three factors: Nidra, Seshaha. That means there is a backlog of sleep. Normally you sleep 8 hours, but yesterday you slept only for 5 hours. So you need extra 3 hours. On those days when you sit in meditation where you have not had enough sleep, you will sleep. So don't sit in meditation when your mind is lacking sleep. One of the factors for sleep. Second factor is Bahu Ashanan. Bahu Ashanan means overeating. Blood supply is in the it's not going up. It is only in the middle of the body. Madhya Pradesh, not in Uttar Pradesh. So Bahu Ashanan means overeating. You are not able to anytime, suppose you have had a wedding and enjoy a dinner, and then next day morning you want to sit, it will be difficult. Shramaha. Suppose you are very tired. You have done a Kailash Yatra and you want to sit in meditation after that. Very difficult because body is tired. So Nidra, Sesha, Bahu Ashnan and Shramaha are the causes for sleep. You have to get rid of that and then sit in meditation. So mind associates with sleep whenever we close our eyes in meditation. Mind normally when you go to sleep, suppose you go to bed, what happens? You close your eyes and then the mind gets an instruction, this is sleeping time. Suppose you sit in meditation and you close your eyes. Mind does not know that you're withdrawing for meditation. So what is the auto suggestion? Auto suggestion is you tell yourself, this is not a sleeping time, this is meditation time. So you have to keep your mind alert. You cannot allow it to sleep. Vikshepa is mind wandering. Mind is alert, but it is wandering. Laya is mind is sleeping. The next Karika, what is the method of controlling the mind for the other two problems? That is what we are going to study in the 43rd verse.
दुःखं सर्वमनुस्मृत्य दुःखं सर्वमनुस्मृत्य कामभोगान्निवर्तयेत् कामभोगान्निवर्तयेत् अजं सर्वमनुस्मृत्य अजं सर्वमनुस्मृत्य जातं नैव तु पश्यति जातं नैव तु पश्यति.
In this mantra, very, very important mantra, in this set of 9 mantras, from 40 to 48, the 43rd mantra is the most important. It gives you, it repeats the same message of what was told before, but it's a very beautiful section. Let us see. Turn the mind from pleasures by knowing that all sense pleasures are finite and they are full of misery. This is a very important statement for life. Consistently dwell upon this. This is one of the important contemplations which Shankaracharya wants all of us to do. What is the cause of sorrow? Remedy for Vikshepa is Brahma Abhyasa and Vairagya. Vairagyam generally teach them to the junior students for Karma Yoga. Brahma Abhyasa teach to the senior students because they have done enough of Shravanam. Now these two Gita mantras we have seen, Chanchalam we have seen, and then this also we have seen. Asamshayam Mahabaho Mano Durnigrahalam. We have seen this before. Now, here in this mantra, Shankaracharya and Gaudapadacharya, they explain to us how to get Vairagya. Very important section. Many of us seekers, we don't know how, you see, we have studied in that Tattvabodha Vairagya. But in Kathopanishad and in Mandukya Upanishad, in this particular mantra, how to get Vairagyam is explained. The main method, suppose you have some problem of some desires and you don't know what to do. How to get rid of, you want to get rid of that desire, but you don't know what to do. First of all, the three doshas you must analyze very deeply. Dukkha mishritatvam, atruptikaratvam, bandhakatvam. Any desire is always mixed with pain, sorrow. Not only any desire, the entire world, according to Shankaracharya. World never gives us total fulfillment. Atripti. Anything you take. After eating a good meal in a wedding, you want to have the next wedding meal. Not satisfied. After going to one yatra, you want to plan for the next yatra. Not satisfied. And then these desires will keep you in bondage. Emotional dependence will be built on those desires. So, dosha darshana abhyasa is very, very important in Naishkarmya Siddhi. Sureshwaracharya, the author, one of the main disciples of Shankaracharya, he says that you will never eat a dish, your favorite dish, if it is mixed with poison. Never. So similarly, when you try to see some of these this novelty in the world, variety in the world, always remember it is mixed with poison. Poison means what? Pain. So you need to have viveka to get vairagya. And the second thing of abhyasa, Brahma abhyasa, is extremely difficult to do, but Shankaracharya explains to us how to do it. In second chapter, we have done this verse. Na nirodho na chotpattir na bandho na cha sadakaha. This is one of the most important mantras of the entire Upanishad of Mandukya. This is the ultimate realization of a jnani, where he says world is mithya. Waking world is mithya. Dream world is mithya, everybody knows. But a jnani knows. Through Shravanam and Mananam, he declares the waking state as mithya. There is no Shrishti, Sthiti, Layaha. World is only an appearance. Brahman or Turiyam alone is. Only a jnana can say Sarvam Brahma. World is Brahman. So for a jnani, what happens? If world is Brahman, he is able to drop all the attachments and turn mind away from the world. This is called Brahma Abhyasa. You have understood Ajativada of Gaudapada. Ajativada means there is no creation, but there is appearance. Exactly like the dream world. Dream world has no creation, but it is an appearance. Waking state has no creation, it is an appearance. If my intellect can accept this truth, you have won Mandukya Upanishad. You have got the benefit of Mandukya Upanishad. Ajam Sarvam. We don't see the world separately, but we see it as Brahman or Turiya Atma itself. This portion is extremely important for senior seekers. You can revise this, read the notes of this portion. This is the end of Mandukya Upanishad's declarations. Mundaka Upanishad says that Brahman alone is immortal, world is mortal, body is mortal, mind is mortal. Therefore, Turiyam alone is. There is only Brahman alone. Everything else is Mithya. So, Vairagyam is possible by Brahma Vidya. Bhogan Kamascha. One should drive away all the desires to enjoy the unacquired objects by Brahma. Objects of pleasure, we remove it or saying that they are mixed with. Therefore, we don't get lost in meditation, these thoughts of desires. See, these are all uh, very important aspects of our life. And if you want to have the conclusion of third chapter of Mandukya Upanishad, you have to assume, you have to go through this portion. This portion which I'm doing now are the end conclusions of Gaudapadacharya and Shankaracharya. Sarvam Brahma. Everything in this is Brahma or Turiyam. Now, this Brahman or Turiyam is a Vastu. It is a fact. So, either the dream world is Pratibhasikam or world is Vyavaharikam. Vyavaharikam and Pratibhasikam both are unreal. Unreal means what? It is available for appearance, experience, for the fructification of prarabdha karma phalam, the ahankara mode, but ultimately the world is shunyam. Shunyam means it is only it can be negated, it can be baditam. So a deer is running in the desert. A deer is thirsty and it sees a mirage water. All of us are like deer. Shankaracharya says this. We are all running after the world, thinking that it is really there. Suppose you accept Shankaracharya's conclusion, world is unreal, available for experience, then your whole lifestyle will change. You will not be obsessed with the world. Your obsession with the world will reduce. And then slowly your mind will become jnana pradhana mind. Right now it is pradhana. All the time thinking of the next activity, next activity. Understanding from my own experience that all suffering is because of wrong view, wrong vision of the world. We are seeing pleasure in the world where it is not there. This is another fact. Again, this is a fact which many people will not accept. But when you keep on thinking about it, your mind, your intellect will tell you this is the truth. Exactly like the deer running of the mirage water, all of us are running behind the sense object for our pleasure. Whether it's property, whether it is finances, whether it is so many things. See, Veda never says don't go after this. Veda says you just remember that all this is an appearance. It is not factually there. World is an appearance for prarabdha karma exhaustion. The moment you understand, then only you will believe this. Only when you sit on Turiya Atma, you will say the world is mithya. I keep repeating this. When you are in the world, experiencing the world, nobody can say it is unreal. You have to wake up to the higher level. Dreamer has to wake up to the waker. And then he will say, dream is unreal. Waker has to wake up to Turiya Atma. I am pure Sakshi Atma. That is my real state. Hundreds of times the Upanishads have said this, but still mind is not able to accept it as the fact, as a truth. The moment the mind accepts this truth as a fact, you are liberated. What is the difference between padarthas and vishayas? Padartha in Sanskrit means objects and beings. Basically, it means Ishvara Srishti. How does a padartha become a vishaya? It becomes a vishaya as long as it is a padartha, no problem. Mount Everest is there, Kailash is there, Mount Titlis is there, oceans are there, they are all there. Ishvara Srishti. How does it become a Jiva Srishti? It becomes a Jiva Srishti the moment I develop a raga for them or dvesha for the padartha. I make Ishvara Srishti to Jiva Srishti by my raga and dvesh. A car in the showroom is fine, but I want that car, the latest model of BMW or Mercedes or Tesla. It has come, but I want that. As long as it is in the showroom and people are seeing it, is fine. But the moment I go to the showroom and I say I want it, it becomes Jiva Srishti. So what happens? I have empowered the objects. This is another truth given by Shankaracharya. Objects by themselves they cannot bind me. Because of my raga dvesha in my mind, I develop a attachment to the object. I am empowering the object to disturb me. When I move towards the object, it is called as raga. When I move away from objects, I don't want my old car. That is dvesha. My old car is 20 years old. It's giving me a lot of pain. I want to get rid of it. That is dvesha. That is also cause of agitations in the mind. So what does Bhagavan say? Bhagavan says you are responsible for empowering the objects. So don't empower the world and make it a Jiva Srishti. Enjoy the Ishvara Srishti. Say that everything is beautiful. Nature is fantastic. It's beautiful. Enjoy the nature. Then what happens? Enjoy the people also. You see, suppose there are very good people around your neighbor. Very good. Enjoy the people. Enjoy the relationships. It is Ishvara Srishti. The moment you become attached to somebody, then I have empowered them. Disempowering them is very, very difficult. It's only possible by dosha darshana. Very intense viveka shakti is required. So, what is the cause of samsara? Is it Ishvara Srishti or Jiva Srishti? My mind is the cause of samsara. Jiva Srishti is the cause of samsara. Amrit Bindu Upanishad, which we have done before, Manayeva Manushyanam Karanam Bandha Mokshayoho. Mind is a cause of bondage, mind is a cause of freedom. With all this analysis, you will completely accept this statement. My mind is in bondage. I have to remove this bondage of the mind and become free. That is what is called as moksha. So withdraw yourself from the wandering mind. That is what is through the Atma Jnanam is the strategy to be followed for the Vikshepa. Again and again, Shankaracharya banks us with this. This verse we have seen, Yato Yato Nishcharati Manaschanchalamastiram. Every time the mind wanders, bring it back to Atma. But how to bring it back? By Vairagyam. Slowly tell your mind, let me not think about it now. I will think about all these worldly problems after my 10 minutes of meditation. So that is the way to control your mind. Shiva Stuti, Mukunda Mala, verse number 5 says, Prarabdha will bring some things into our life. Inevitably, they will come. Let me not get attached to them. That's all. That is Shiva Stuti. So, Dosha Darshanam is for all seekers. Nididhyasanam is for students who have got Jnanam, for Jnana Yoga students. In the next paragraph, Shankaracharya talks about more of this Atma Vidya. He says is entire Sarvam, entire universe, Ajam Brahma, is this unborn Brahma. World is nothing but it is a name. Desk, chair is a name. Wood is the substance. Chain, bangle is a name. Gold is the substance. Universe of 5 elements is a name. Universe, entire universe, all the planets, all the living beings, everything in the universe is just name and form. What is the substance? Consciousness, existence. So slowly we have to get an idea, remove the idea of all the names and forms and condition to think that world is mere name and form. What substance is? It is Turiya Atma. Without consciousness, there is no world because the world dissolves in the Turiya consciousness. How the world dissolves? That is called as Maya. So we have to get the conviction that there is no real world. Conviction is as moksha. You should get the conviction that I, Turiyam Brahman, am alone. That is the ultimate teaching. Consciousness alone is, matter does not exist. independent of consciousness. This line, consciousness alone is, matter does not exist independent of consciousness. Turiya Atma is summary of chapter 2, 3, and 4. We will make two statements before we close for today. Ever experienced world never is there. One statement. We experience the world, but what Mandukya Upanishad says, it is never, it is not factually there. Factually, word is factually. Experientially is there. What is the second statement? Never experience Turiya Atma, consciousness. It is ever there. Independently, it is there. If you have assimilated these two statements, Vedanta will work for you. Everything which we have learnt in chapter 2 and 3, your mind will accept it. What we have studied today is a very deep portion of Mandukya Upanishad. These notes which I have are extremely good. You can revise them in order to get a deeper understanding of these verses, especially verse number 43. And how to control the mind, we have seen before. And we will continue this next week. Okay, so we'll stop here. Next week we'll start from this 3321 revision of Karika 43. Okay. We will do this revision one more time so that the knowledge which we are gathering in these verses is sinking in our mind. Beautiful revision is there. I will go through this. You will understand this verse better when we go through this revision next week. Very beautiful section, and from 43 onwards till 48, 49, 48 verse, very, very important sections. In the 47th verse, you will get the ultimate meaning of what is the vision of Gaudapadacharya. 47 and 48 verses are extremely important also. So we are in a final stage to understand Mandukya Upanishad. This I will stop today. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevapasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay. I will go through some comments on the chat box and then I'll open up for discussions. You can ask whatever questions you have. Today's teaching has been a very important teaching. I would like to see your comments. So whoever wants to speak and express what you have learned, please speak up or put in the chat box. I want to make it interactive so that I know where we all stand. Okay, the first one is from Jayaprakash. He says, never experienced consciousness ever there. May you please enlighten this more as I could not get it. Okay, good. See, this consciousness, in every transaction, we have a knowingness. See, suppose we get up in the morning, we are aware of the world first. So you should be When you wake up in the morning, the first thing you should understand is I am aware. I am aware. And then on that awareness, the body, mind, everything comes. The first mind will come. When you wake up in the morning, it will be the mind which is. But before the mind becomes awake, there is something called as awareness. There is something called as consciousness. Mind becomes aware in the waking state. Mind goes to sleep in the sleep state. All the three states, you should say to yourself, belongs to the mind. It does not belong to me, the consciousness, awareness. Deliberately you have to say. That is what is called as spiritual jnanam. It is called as Brahma Vidya. So, what all the Upanishad says, you have to learn to separate the body mind from consciousness, which is called as Atma, Anatma, Viveka, discrimination, difference. So, to understand consciousness, you should first say, I am Atma, I am experiencing the body. And if you say that, what happens? You will start understanding what is consciousness. This is a deliberate exercise. All spiritual seekers, the moment you enter into Tattva Bodha, Atma Bodha, you come to Bhagavad Gita, and when you come to Mandukya Upanishad, the first thing you should do is tell yourself, I am the consciousness. I am Atma. I am awareness. There is something in the world which is called as awareness. I cannot see awareness, but I know awareness exists only from the scriptures. I know Himalayas, Mount Kailash exists because my eyes are experiencing it. Pratyaksha Pramanam. So I take it as a fact. For consciousness, what is the Pramanam? Only our Shastra. That's all. Don't ask me what is this. See, so the first thing, Jayaprakash, what you have to do is tell yourself, I am consciousness, I am awareness. And then you start trying to differentiate body and mind. This is the way to learn about self-ignorance and self-enlightenment. And of course, you have to keep on listening to the scriptures. The more you listen to the scriptures, the more this consciousness will strike you. And the more the consciousness aspect strikes you, these lectures, these talks will become a reality for you. Whatever I'm telling you in the last 1.5 hours, yes, everything is fine. Whatever you're telling me is the truth. Like what Bharat is saying now. He says this is the best talk in the whole Mandukya Upanishad. I also agree with him because the topic is such a beautiful topic. It's the Karikas in which we are ending. They are very, very beautiful Karikas. And these verses you have to repeatedly listen again and again so that your mind becomes Sakshi Pradhana. I will speak about this for 2 minutes because this is the central theme in which Shankaracharya writes this entire Bhagavad Gita Bhashyam. In Bhagavad Gita Bashyam, before he starts the Bashyam of the second chapter, 11th verse, he writes a very long commentary on the introduction to Bhagavad Gita. Shankaracharya doesn't comment on the first chapter 47 verses, second chapter 10 verses of Bhagavad Gita. He doesn't do that. But he gives a summary of those 57 verses in the introduction to his Bhashya. In the introduction, he gives the ultimate teaching. In the introduction of Bhagavad Gita, he says, this is Bhagavad Gita. Now you have to decide whether you want to learn the Bhagavad Gita or not. What does he say there? 2 minutes I will spend. He says there are two lifestyles which we can follow. All of us. One is karma pradhana lifestyle. Another is jnana pradhana lifestyle. Karma pradhana lifestyle, he says, very simply he says, I am karta, is the knowledge. Jnana pradhana lifestyle, he says, I am sakshi atma. That is the lifestyle. When you study the Upanishads or Bhagavad Gita, you should know that I have to change from karma pradhana lifestyle to sakshi pradhana lifestyle. And sakshi pradhana lifestyle means what? Throughout your day, you must remember, I am sakshi. I am sakshi. Body is acting, mind is acting, they are doing the duty which is required as per the prarabdha karma. This is called as Ishvara Srishti. With this, I will stop because I can go on and on, but just to give you an answer of to your question about consciousness. Jayaprakash, is it clear? Are you there, Jayaprakash, here? Let Shanmugam unmute everybody. So now you can unmute and speak if you're there. If you're not there, it's fine.
Thank you, Shekharji. I got your the thing is what you want to say. Like we studied in Taittri in Keno Upanishad. One who
Correct.
says that he knows the Atma is objectifying the Atma. He will not know. One
Correct.
who is not. It's the same style it is produced here.
Yes, exactly the same style. Don't say that you are Atma, only know that you are Atma. That's all. Knowledge. It's only knowledge based. Whatever you have studied in Keno Upanishad is the same Atma we are discussing in Mandukya. Is it clear?
Okay.
Go through it.
Okay,
Whatever
okay.
I've told you, keep on listening. There will be a time when you will be 100% convinced that I am Chaitanya Atma. I am not this body which is born and gone. Chaitanyam is always there. Whether I'm sleeping or not, Chaitanyam is there. Whether I'm in the waking state, Chaitanyam is there. The dream state, Chaitanyam is there. Who illumines the dream state? Chaitanya. So if Chaitanyam is illumining the dream state, when there is no sun, moon, or any other light, I am that Chaitanyam, that's all. It's very easy to accept that I am that consciousness only. Consciousness illumines the dream world. Very easy to understand. Where is the difficulty on understanding consciousness? It is the light which illumines the dream world. I'm sure all of you who are listening to this will straight away link yourself to Chaitanyam. You can't see it, but you can know it. That is what is Turiya Atma. That is what is Mandukya. all the Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita are revealing the same truth. Whatever I have discussed today is exactly the same. So, Jay Prakash, is it okay?
I got it.
Good. Thank you. Now let's go to Bharat. Bharat, you want to explain what you have said? Yeah?
Um, Fantastic session today, Shakaji. You know, I sound like a broken record. Really, really good. I posted two messages, but I think, do you mean the second one?
You can first talk about the first one and then the second one.
So for the
Oh, there are so many messages today. I thought there'll be only two, three, but then okay, we'll go through it. Let's finish whatever you have to say.
sir, I think this Mandukya Karika, it's so subtle. It takes many repetitions to understand it, and to repeat it is actually a pleasure. So uh, if at first, like that saying goes, if at first you feel you haven't quite succeeded, try again, repeat. So, you know, like I think your sessions are by far the best I've come across. So, you know, going through all of the YouTube lectures and everything again, it's certainly worth doing. So I just wanted to say that. I this isn't a form of bragging or arrogance, but I remember the first time I studied Mandukya Upanishad, I think it was Swami Sarvapriyananda's lecture. At some point, he was asked, he said you should repeat Mandukya Upanishad, and someone asked him how many times, and he said 12 times. So that really stuck inside my head, and you'd be pleased to know this is the 12th time I'm studying
Wow.
Mandukya Upanishad with you now. So thank you.
I'm
I
so
just
glad that you are here. I mean, see, you are an extremely sincere seeker, and I can see the enjoyment bubbling up in you when you listen to these sessions because you are listening to Mandukya for the 12th time.
for the 12th time.
10th time.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's God has forgotten himself and has written a post-it note to remind itself, himself or herself, who God is, and that post-it note is the Upanishads. So God is just simply remembering who God was.
Well, thank you. It's nice, Bharat. I'm glad you have expressed what you are going through because these things you cannot even put into words.
You can't,
Uh,
no.
you can't because it is something which is extremely subtle and it
Yeah.
cannot be expressed in words, but you know that's what it is. That's all.
The second point I wanted to make is in relation to what you said about the introduction to Bhagavad Gita. Eh, uh, it's like when we are drawn into the world and we're focused on activity, all you have to know is that is mind. You don't have to inquire or anything. Just know that is mind. And when you're troubled by the mind, or you're thinking, or you know, you're wondering, gosh, you know, why is my mind like this for? You can't be the mind at that point. Logically, you cannot be that which you see. You just have to know that it's just a word, but that is Sakshi. And it wasn't. I heard this from one of the Swamis. I thought it was very helpful. I just wanted to share.
Good. Thank you, Bharat.
Hari Om.
Thank you. In towards the end of the 47th, 48th verse, Mandukya uh, Gaudapada he says, ultimately, he says, the final answer he says is, mind is Turiya Atma. World is Turiya Atma. So exactly what you have said now, mind is nothing but it is Turiyam because it is in Turiyam's light only this is, see, the world is seen. So the Adhishtanam for the world is Turiyam. Therefore, he says mind is Turiyam, world is Turiyam. So don't differentiate between mind and the world. Initially, yes, we have to do Atma and Atma. We have to see what is mind, what is body. At that stage, we are junior students. In the ultimate stage, I mean, there will be some mind-boggling facts which Gauda Padacharya will reveal in the next 4 or 5 verses. Every session from now on, for the next 4 or 5 sessions, I don't know whether I will stop it because I have to go for some medical process, but sometime maybe I will let you know. But the next few sessions from 43rd verse to 48th verse, very, very important sections, you will learn a lot. You will learn the entire summary of the whole Mandukya Upanishad. And the Shankaracharya's commentary is mind-boggling. He brings it out so beautifully, the ultimate truth. There is nobody else who can bring this truth so beautifully. I'll go next to, okay, there are a lot of people who have said today, Bharat. Sumana says, Neti Neti, uh, okay, very good. So what Sumana is saying is, Neti Neti is a very good process by which she can get rid of most of the projections in her mind. Very, very, very strong, very absolutely correct thing to do. Sumana, do you want to speak anything on this?
Hari Om Shekharji.
Yeah,
No, it's again doing all these Vedanta courses. Once in a way, I step back and I think where I am, how far I have come. I realize that it definitely has calmed me in many ways. I used to be extremely angry, short-tempered. Many things used to bother me, but now I practice. I use some of the techniques Vedanta has taught, and one of them is definitely Niti Niti. I'm still not there. I do get emotions, but I try my best to say, okay, this is not me. This is not me, and these are all projections of the mind. So by that, I calm down much faster. I uh, I don't worry as much as I used to. So I feel one of the main reasons for that is coming to your classes. It definitely helps me stay calm through the week. And
thank you.
thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Sumana. And I
And today's
appreciate,
class was
yeah,
fantastic. Today's class was so good. I'm waiting for the next few ones to complete this great Upanishad.
yes, it's an amazing. I mean, thank you for sharing your experiences. Not many people will come in the forefront and say, yes, these are my emotions, but I really appreciate your courage and to say what you have experienced before and how these sessions have helped you. See, that is what I keep saying. It is a very slow, gradual progress. And like you, I have heard at least 50 or about 50 people who have come to me and said exactly the same words which you have said. And that is the magic of Bhagavad Gita. It is the magic of Mandukya. And
Yeah.
it's amazing. It's really amazing how a scripture, how a mantra can help me to understand my nature. And by Neti Neti, 100% you will reach your goal. I give you guarantee. 100%. You will say one day, I am that Atma. I am very, very peaceful. Atma's peace is something which is cannot be expressed. Cannot be expressed by words, but you will know it. Atma Shanti is the highest reward for a person who comes to learn these scriptures. Highest. Two things, Atma Shanti and Atma Tripti. You will be fulfilled. There is something which it's a treasure for me. I have learned something which I can never learn anywhere else. for all of you. I mean, for all who have been listening to these patiently for the last 2 years, 3 years, we have done. I mean, almost more than 120 verses we have. Vijaya has chanted out of 225. We have almost coming to 100 verses plus the 12 verses of the Upanishad. So what we left out in the fourth chapter is only 100 more verses. So almost a majority of the Mandukya Upanishad we have already gone through. Good. I appreciate and your courage in explaining these things. Please come forward in future sessions also and express whatever you feel, because that will help a lot of people who are here. Thank you, Sumna.
Thank you, Shekharji, and
Thank you. Thank you.
take care.
Thank you. Venkatesh, Sporimar. Okay, Venkatesh, can you explain your question, your remark here?
Yeah, Shekharji. So, as we explore the Mandukya Upanishad Bashyam more and more, because the understanding keeps improving, our understanding keeps changing in a way,
Correct.
The way that we have gone through last couple of years. So, at this point of time, the kind of thinking that I have is that so the Jivatma is the individual consciousness, right? And Paramatma is the collective consciousness. That is the way that we have
Correct. You are
tried
right.
to understand this.
Yes.
So when the body falls, the Jivatma also falls, right? That is the end of the Jivatma. The Jivatma do not have a relevance beyond the life of a body. But
Okay.
Paramatma will be a permanent, because it is a collective consciousness. It is not dependent on individual consciousness, but it's a collective consciousness, right?
Okay.
So I want to explore this further, extend this further, but I think I am not ready for that. But at this point of time, is my thinking correct? To this level is what I am trying to understand.
Okay, good. I've got your question. See, basically, again, in Shankaracharya in his Gita Bhashyam, I'll refer to what he says. See, Jiva consists of two parts. One part is the reflected consciousness together with the mind. The second part of a jiva is original consciousness. There can be no reflected consciousness without original consciousness. There can be no, there cannot be a reflected face without the original face. So you must accept that through this reflected consciousness only, I will remember the original consciousness. This comes out in Shankaracharya's Bhashyam. So first thing you should understand is there is a reflected consciousness, which is this body-mind complex, and there is also the original consciousness. What we call jiva is, in ignorance, we say it is the body and mind. When the ignorance is removed, we say that jiva is nothing but the original consciousness, which is the collective consciousness of the entire universe. So, what you have to understand is that there is no separation between the original consciousness and the collective consciousness and the individual consciousness. There is only one consciousness. There is only one consciousness which is appearing as jiva because of ignorance, because of mula avidya. Okay, as we study more and more, especially in Shankaracharya's Bhagavad Gita Bhashyam, you will understand that individual consciousness is nothing but original consciousness.
Okay.
Are you clear now?
Yeah, I think that's what I told. I don't want to ask my next question yet because that is the
Go ahead.
realization or that is the
What is
understanding.
your next question?
No, the next question is that, or next kind of thought that I had is that the Paramatma is individual consciousness is something that we are able to experience, because consciousness at the level of individual consciousness, we are able to say that, okay, there is a mind, this is the thought that is going through the mind, and there is the body, etc., etc. But the collective consciousness or Paramatma is like a construct. It is not something that we are able to relate to. But in these processes or in these classes, what we are getting is that it is actually the Paramatma is only there and Jivatma is not there, is what I gather from even the comments that you just made. So, probably getting that realization or understanding or imbibing that completely is going to take more listening to such classes.
Correct. You are right. You see, I see, I've understood your problem. It is just, and it is basically trying to listen more and more about this Paramatma, the nature of Paramatma and the nature of Jivat. And the more you understand this two nature, you will be able to put them together at a later point of time. But I'll leave you with one thought. See, you say that I don't know what is this Paramatma. I want to ask you, you are saying individual consciousness is there because I'm seeing this body. I understand perfectly right. Question you should ask yourself is, when I'm sleeping, what happens to this individual consciousness? Does it remain in this body as individual consciousness, or does it merge with Paramatma as the total consciousness?
Okay.
You ask this question yourself and you come back next week and you tell me what is the answer. I don't want an answer. You think about it. That total consciousness is Paramatma, which you are experiencing. You see, it is not far away from you. It is not distant. It is aparoksha jnana. This aparoksha jnana means what? It is not paroksham. Paroksham means there is some Paramatma in Kailash or in. It is not like that. What we are saying Paramatma is nothing but the consciousness, individual consciousness itself is the total consciousness. This will become more clear when you understand Mahavakyam clearly. The gap of information you have at the moment is lack of correct Mahavakyam. Tattvamasi. I am Atma Brahma. Aham Brahma Asmi. All these important statements equate the individual consciousness with the total consciousness. That is the ultimate teaching of all the Upanishads. I'm extremely happy that you are able to understand and put forward this question. It requires a brilliant intellect. So think about it. You will get the ultimate answer is I, the Atma, am the Turiya Paramatma. Turiya Paramatma is appearing as this Jivatma at this point of time in creation, in appearance. Suppose you take creation as real, no problem. Take it as real. You have a body, you are trying to understand who you are. The moment you say I am not the body, It's very easy to understand. You see, the moment you are doing any ritual, I mean, these are all things which Shankaracharya brilliantly brings out in his Bhashyam. I mean, I've not gone through the entire Gita Bhashyam, just a few pages I've gone through, but so much of knowledge is there in just the few pages. He says, even for doing a ritual, that time you have the knowledge that you are not the body. You are the body. That is something different. Body. One consciousness, Ek Atma, every Upanishad will tell you this. Ek Atma means what? Only one consciousness. And then the second thing which the Upanishad teaches is Advaita Atma. Advaita Atma means there is no real world. What is there for appearance? Tomorrow morning, this world is gone. Another new world. I mean, we think it is the same world because our mind is conditioned to think that it is the same world which we are seeing again and again. Thank you, Venkatesh.
Yeah, thanks, Shigarji.
Shama, you raised your hand for a long time.
Hari Om Shekharji, I will leave for this time my questions pending for next time, because I can see Shanta is there and Krishna ji, and I have a feeling that they will be able to answer whatever is my query. Except I just wanted to say that, like, I wanted to ditto Bharat and say how much I enjoyed this session. And on self-control, and that's really seems to be the key of all a seeker's practice, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. And
Self-control, mind control, especially mind
yeah,
control. See, that is, and that beautifully comes out in this Bhashyam. I mean, this.
And the sheer analogy which is made, I thought, my God, Krishna pales into a shadow after this. You know what Gaudapada says? Krishna's trying to control the wind looks simpler than trying to empty
the
out
ocean.
with a kusha grass. So it's mind-boggling as to how does he reach there. So I will leave it at that. Just can you just say habits is vasanas, isn't it? Habits.
Yes, are vasanas.
And so to
and
lock
these
that.
habits can be developed either in this life or it is coming up from the previous life.
So, but it is quite possible that with self-control and determination, there is quite a bit of the habits can be changed, especially the way we think. The habitual thinking must definitely be altered, isn't it? And is dhyanam the best way to unlock that, or is there some other method? So, and that finishes
No,
my
the best
question.
method, ultimately, the best method which Shankaracharya says is Atma Jnana. The more you learn about Atma, everything else will fall down.
But
Keep
the practice
learning more
will mean. But
yes.
the practice will mean not only Shavanam, Manana,
Dhyanam,
Nididhyasana, but
meditation is
Dhyanam, isn't
extremely
it?
important. Yes, meditation is very, very important.
Thank you. That's all my questions.
Thank you. Thank you, Shama. Shanta, go ahead.
Namaste, Shekharji. Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank Vijaya for chanting today's, the meditation sloka. The meditation sloka itself was wonderful, and the way Vijaya you chanted was even more great. Thank you so much. I was feeling so beautiful when it was, chanted. So, and as far as this, like today's session, I think I agree with Shamaji and Bharatji, because it was complete. I mean, it was like you got everything you have, now you got to just act on it to achieve it. So reminder of the chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita was also very encouraging, because it just brought you back to that knowledge that, oh yeah, this is the ways. Now my question I have got for today is, you mentioned about the two things which we really need to do to control your mind. One is abhyasa and one is vairagya. Now I'm trying this vairagya myself. Okay, I don't know how successful I am, but I try. Now, many a times this giving up things, or giving up these vasanas, whether it is a particular liking I get to, say for example, I like this particular chocolate, and then I will try to distance myself, and that is something I try with my effort, okay, because I'm trying to see, can I control my mind and not go and get attracted to the chocolate? Just example.
Okay.
Okay.
Have you seen a doctor, or you have not seen a doctor so far about chocolates?
No, no.
No. See, okay. Very simple about chocolates is dosha darshanam. Any food is, if you take it in a limited way, is fine.
Yeah.
But if you exceed and you become obsessed with it, then the best way you have to do dosha darshanam. Chocolate is only one small little example.
Yeah.
Everybody has got some obsession or the other.
Yes.
And if you want to get rid of that obsession, Shankaracharya says there is no other way of vairagyam except by dosha darshanam. What is dosha
How do you do
darshanam?
that? Yeah.
Dosha darshanam is, okay, very simple. Regarding chocolates, is very easy.
Yeah, that is easy. But I'm just thinking, I mean, this was just an example I gave, but
Correct.
I wanted to yeah.
There could be other bigger obsessions in life. And what you have to see, the way you have to do is you have to take a piece of paper and sit down and analyze that completely with three main headings. One is dukkha mishritatvam, second is that it is atripti karatva, and third is bandhakat. Every obsession is a bandha. It is a bondage. Every obsession. From small obsession to the biggest obsession, every obsession, this is taught in Mandukya Upanishad as well in Kathopanishad. In both these Upanishad, the Upanishad itself says that, okay, you go through your obsessions of desires, fascinations, in Naishkarmi Siddhi, they call it Shobhana Adhyasa. That means that you attach some fanciful idea about an object or a person, and that is what is called as Shobhana Adhyasa. Every obsession is nothing but Shobhana Adhyasa. It is an Adhyasa only. See, Adhyasa means you are trying to superimpose something which is not there in that object. The most difficult thing to do is ananda. That happiness is there in the world. If you can analyze that happiness is not in the world, it is my own happiness which is getting reflected in an object or a person. That is the highest of vairagya. Then you can get rid of the world. Then you can say world is mithya. But every object, what you do is these three factors. Later on, if you want, you can come. We can have a separate. I can talk to you separately on this if you have anything which you want to get rid of. The method is the same. That it is anything is dukkha mishritatva. That means I am seeing some fancy in that object, but along with that fanciness, there is also ashobhanam. That means there is also some impurities, some drawback, something is there along with that object or person.
Yeah.
This is the first one. Second is, if I keep on going after that, I am never going to be triptaha. See, for you it is chocolates. For somebody else, it may be a curd rice, or it can be some muruku or some chidai or something like that. You keep on munching, and you will say that it's a habit. That's all. You see, you can drop the habit. Any habit can be dropped only by dosha darshan. Any habit.
Could you please repeat the three sections of dosha darshana?
Yeah, number one is dukkha mishritatvam. Any object.
I'm sorry, I'm just writing down. That's why.
Yeah, please write down. Yeah. It's there in the notes also, but anyway, you write down. Dukkha mishritatvam.
Yeah. Second one.
Mishri Tattva means every object of fancy or liking is mixed with some drawback of pain.
Hmm.
So you analyze which are the objects, you make a list of 5 items, or say that you want to, these are the objects of your fancy. And then you find out whether there is any dukkham attached to it at some point. What Shankaracharya says is whenever that object leaves us, it is always dukkha, because you're so attached to that. It could be object, it could be person. Person is difficult. You're so attached to somebody in life. How to drop that? Dukkha Mishri Tattvam is the first one. Second is Atripti Karatvam. Atripti Karatvam means what? Atripti means I will never be fulfilled by it. I am going after it, no doubt. Suppose you say, okay, I want to have 5 rasagulla. After the 5th rasagulla or the 10th rasagulla, you'll say, no, stop it. Finished. I don't want any more. Atripti. Okay. The third one is called as Bandhakatva. Bandhakatva means it is a bondage. It is a bondage. You see, every fancy, the first cigarette is not a bondage. Oh, I also like cigarette, I also like a liquor or some of these things. First time when you take it, it is not a bondage. It is will based first time. The 10th time or the 50th time, it is not will based. That is going to pull you. That is going to pull you. It's going to pull you, means you're in bondage of that.
So I just want a little bit of clarification. So when we actually, with our willpower, distance ourselves, and eventually, of course, you feel that, yeah, I'm comfortable. I can decide when I want to eat and when I don't want to eat. And it's completely, it's the as you said, the chocolate is not asking me to eat, but I'm asking whether I want to eat. It's like control of the mind. It's like the dog, as you very beautifully give the example of the, person walking the dog. It's the dog which makes the person walk the direction rather than the,
Correct.
the speed,
so
whatever.
many times you see in the garden,
Yes,
and then this example clicks there in the garden.
Very beautifully. Yeah. So my question is here that when you are having this mind control, many people say that, oh, you know what, you are controlling your mind, and one day it's going to be, you're holding the dam, and one day it'll break through. And it's almost like avalanche will happen because you have controlled your mind so much.
That is called as repression. You are not controlling, but you are suppressing the mind.
Suppressing, yeah, but I'm not suppressing, but I'm just saying what would be the fine difference between suppressing and actually controlling? Because for me, controlling is very easy because I decide, but I don't suppress it. And then eating and then not eating. I don't know. How would you give that little difference?
No, suppressing is not possible if you are doing dosha darshanam. The moment you do dosha darshanam, it is no longer suppression. You are giving up because of knowledge.
Yeah.
If you're giving up just because you don't want to have it and you want to just see, like, you just want to try it out like that, and that is what is called suppression. Your friend comes and tells you, no, don't eat. Okay, I will not eat today. But again, after suppose you don't eat for 2 months chocolate, one fine day when your mother or a friend is not there, you will buy 10 packets of chocolates and gulp it down. See, that is not
no. I think
what is
yeah.
suppression.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Whereas
no, I think I don't have that problem, luckily, because
no, it's an example. So dosha darshanam again
I
and
decide
again
and
is the only remedy.
Okay.
Okay. So anyway,
thank you
we are
very
going
much.
to discuss more, but the ultimate success for dropping your desires in the world is Atma Jnana. There is no doubt about it. If your Atma Jnanam is very clear, then all the desires will not trouble you anymore because they are already gone. There is no more thoughts of desire coming into your mind because you have understood the Veda very clearly.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Krishna, can you go ahead?
Shekhar, I will be brief. I first of all thank you very much for your patience. It is so amazing that you covered everything, and you have been covering, making it interactive and also making us to participate, encouraging us in every moment to really turn our attention into inwards. Thank you so much for that. And this is the highest nididhyasana that has been given by Paramaguru of Shankaracharya, and you brought it so well, and covering it from all the angles, actually, from action to how to draw inwards, how the mind has the indriyas and the sense inputs that which we are getting from the world, and also the very vasanas that would be we don't have any control over that. So where we have the control, where we don't have the control, and where we have the sankalpa, the free will, it is so beautifully that you have covered, and you have given us the very points that where the nigraha are where we need to control the sense inputs and all, and at the same time where we need to be aware, where we don't have the control, the vasanas which will be exhibiting, and using the free will, what the right sankalpa that need to be taken towards the Atma Drishti and all, and then getting into the dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. That was so beautiful, and actually that is the crux of these shlokas that I think the upaya that here he has been giving, actually the Parama of Shankaracharya is giving is upayena nigrhniyat vikshiptam kama bhogayoho suprasannam laye chaiva yadha kamo layastadha. So kama bhogaya vikshiptam manam upayena nigrahayat. Laye suprasannam manaha nigrhiyat. Yadha kamam tadha layam. So it is so beautiful that Kama and Laya both are really giving us that very ananda. When we fulfill our Kama, the experiential Kama, we have been discussing Bhagavad Gita, the Sthita Prajna Lakshanas. There also Bhagavan Sri Krishna has been mentioning these things. And you brought it wonderfully that yato yato niccharati, whenever the mind goes away, that needed to be brought back into this dhyana. And the dhyana is Atma Dhyana here. And how to be aware, we are getting there. I think the next, I was really waiting that one when you go to the next ones. And I remember Shankaracharya's Aparokshanubhuti, where he has been really mentioned, as you mentioned, that one in the yoga, Ashtanga yoga, even though he rejects the very darshana or the philosophical aspect of it, he takes that very abhyasa and converts it into the way that which you have been leading us, the way that how we need to think and conduct ourselves to get into this um, the very sukshma bhavana, and thereby tikshna bhavana, and thereby that means chitta ekagrata, chitta vikshipta, that how to control that one and to get the chitta ekagrata, and then having the uparati sufficiently, establishing into this dhyana, and not to really entertain anything else. Atma samstam manakritva nakinchidapi chintayete, as Bhagavan says. So it is so beautifully that you have been bringing it up. I wanted that one to continue, but I think I will wait for you to cover those things. And so beautiful. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Krishna. I mean, you see the next few verses, 43, 44, 45, 47, I mean up to 48, all are brilliant verses. They are the most beautiful verses you can ever think in Mandukya Upanishad. They are really brilliant. And you have enjoyed this because you have a fantastic background, which you have done so much of sadhana you have done in your life. So I'm sure, like Bharat, like Vijaya, like all others, you are able to appreciate the juice. You're appreciating the ultimate essence of Upanishads. I'm very glad, and I can see from your remarks how much you have been enjoying this. And I'm sure I didn't dwell too much about Ashtanga Yoga, but I'm glad you put it out of Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. But slowly, all these things are covered in the commentary of Shankaracharya. Thank you, Krishna. Ramchandra, you have something?
Yeah, Namaste Shekharji.
Yeah,
Yeah,
namaste.
I have one. I just need a clarification. So this
Yeah.
question is with the brother Venkatesh, whatever he asked, like the individual consciousness and the universal consciousness. So the Chandogya Upanishad 6.2.1 basically says Ekameva Advitiyam Brahma. But at the same time, in Bhagavad Gita 2.12, where Bhagavan says Natve Vaham. So, which is meaning like you, me, and all these kings. So, there was no time they were not there, and they are going to be there in the future also. So, what I understand is, so as Chandogya Upanishad 6.21 says, the universal consciousness is one, but at the same time, it is projecting as many individual consciousnesses in the universe. In this Vishwam, which is a projected one. And for example, in that Vishwam, if I am one of the consciousness, individual consciousness, from birth to birth, so if I properly train myself, I mean, as an individual, I have to train my buddhi, right? So by default, the buddhi is not trained. So I have to train continuously the buddhi and elevate myself to the consciousness level and get merged into the universal consciousness. So my only point is the individual consciousness. So I will be there again even after the fall of this body. So am I
Okay.
right? So
Okay.
I will continue to exist
Yes.
even after fall of this body. But of course, as a consciousness, but still, I will take many more births because I am not perfect. I am not still united with the universal consciousness. So, is my thinking in the right way, or
Ramchandra, absolutely right. Whenever you are associated and when you are uh, identified with your body mind, you will always be thinking that there is going to be another birth, and then there will be some, in the future also, I will learn something, and ultimately, I will merge with the ultimate consciousness. But let me tell you something else also. This is the normal thing which Bhagavad Gita teaches, which generally all of us they will teach. But you take the example of what Shankaracharya is saying. You're talking about mukti in the future. You're talking about that is correct. That is correct. But there is a possibility. I'm only telling you a possibility because it is possible. Even in this birth itself, suppose you are able to get knowledge, only understanding it is. See, the beauty of this Vedanta is it is ignorance going away and the light of knowledge coming. That can happen anytime to anybody.
yeah.
So don't think that after another few births I will come to slowly reach the ultimate total consciousness. Drop that idea, take the idea and dwell upon it. What is the idea I want to give you? I am free here and now. This is something which is taught to a senior seeker. A senior seeker will be taught that don't wait in future after another 5 years, 10 years. I will do another 2, 3 rounds of Mandukya Upanishad, then I will understand, then it will be prosper. Start believing today. I am free today. I am free from this body identification and mind identification. This aham and mama are the only problems, they are the notions in the mind. Suppose you get rid of this notion, automatically what happens is Atma is evident to you. The same problem Venkatesh also had, the same problem this Jayaprakash also had. It is not something which is going to happen to maybe in the next birth, not like that. It might happen now itself. But for doing that, you have to have faith in the scriptures and say, I am Atma. I am repeating this again and again to all of you. The only way to get this Jivan Mukti is telling deliberately yourself. Okay, even if you don't believe it, doesn't matter. Say, I am Atma, I am Asangaha, I am Muktaha. I am Muktaha means I am. And what is that freedom? What is the nature of that freedom is consciousness. I will try to slowly understand, no problem. I have understood so much of Mandukya, doesn't matter. I have learned quite a lot. But for you, the best thing to do is, okay, your current thinking is fine. Okay, as you learn further, you will be able to get that consciousness. Many seekers will be thinking exactly like you. But there is an answer to that is, start changing your thought pattern. Tell yourself, I am free. I am free because Veda is telling me. See, if I am telling you, or Sumana is telling you, or Shama is telling you, don't believe it. We are only discussing, there is something called as Veda. We are talking about Upanishads. And Veda is teaching me, you are always free. And your consciousness, this birth itself, the current, you see, this is going to come in the next few verses. But they are very difficult things to believe. So I will stop with this explanation for you currently. My view to you is just keep listening. The more you listen, you will feel that ultimate consciousness, and I are, even now, I am the same as that ultimate one Atma.
Yeah, thanks.
You have beautifully brought out the Chandogya Upanishad 6:1 Ekameva Advitiyam Brahma. There you should understand one thing to contemplate and meditate is this Atma, which is my Swarupam, is Sajatiya, Vijatiya, Swagata, Bheda, Rahitaha. There is no differences in that consciousness at all. There is no Jiva Bheda. There is no Jiva Jagat Bheda. There is no Jiva Ishvara Bheda in that consciousness. And that consciousness is my nature. Thank you, Ramchandra.
Yeah. What was the intention of Bhagwan in 2.12?
Same message. He says that neither you were there as an independent. See, there in that you should understand, you don't have an independent existence apart from this consciousness. That is the message in that. Neither you were there as this body, because body and mind is an appearance. It is not existence. As consciousness, you're always existent.
Yeah,
Are
thank
you
you.
are you getting the message?
Yeah, thank you, Sekharji. Yes.
Okay, so that is what you should, that is the way you should understand that verse. What it says is, it is not that at any time I as consciousness was not there. It is not at any time you as consciousness were not there.
Oh, okay.
All these battlefield warriors and kings and your guru, all of us are already there. Here, he means not the body, not the mind. He means Atma Chaitanya. So Arjuna is being taught by Lord Krishna in the verse itself that you are not the body. Drop your
Okay.
consciousness of the body or the mind and claim your original nature as Atma. Very beautiful verse, but needs contemplation. Thank you, Ramchandra. Yeah, Vijaya,
Yeah,
I think
thanks. Namaste.
you have been waiting for a very long time, and yeah,
Hariom
go ahead.
Shekhar I do not know whether I should take it because it's almost 2.5 hours you have been taking
Yeah.
us on. I think it's a great lecture. So actually, I thought I'll park my comments for next week, but I think the Ramachandraji's question was actually said that I should raise my hand. I think you have brilliantly answered many parts of the Bhagavad Gita. It's easy for misinterpretation, and this one verse is like that. And if the answer to that actually is again in Bhagavad Gita, if you see 13.3, verse 13, chapter 3, he says, I am the Kshetrajna in all the Kshetras. So he tells that it is me alone is the same Atma in all. It is just one Atman. It is only one supreme Atman. There are no different Atmans too. And whenever we go chapter 6 also, when we say Atmaneva Atmana, so there also that Atma one is, he refers to mind, and the other Atma is refers to Atma. So I think sometimes we get little confused in juxtaposition, and then get confused. So the perspective of that verse, if the way I look at it is exactly as you said, he wants to take Arjuna out of the body consciousness, and he says at the level of Atman, they always existed, you existed. So whom you are really thinking that you are killing and then feeling guilty about. So he's trying to come from the contextuality of he feeling guilty about killing them or not wanting to take upon them the war. So he's telling from the point of view of at the level of the consciousness, none of you are different, sajatiya vijatiya vigata, and none of you are ever born ajata, none of you are ever going to die. So all of you being part of me only. So how will Krishna be happy if Arjuna is going to slay Karna or Bhima is going to slay Duryodhana? Because all of those individual jivas are Krishna alone that way. So I think that's a brilliant answer. You rightly said that some verses in Bhagavad Gita, it needs more contemplation. The reason why they say Prasthana Traya, you understand first the Upanishad and then go understand the Gita, because Gita is Sarva Upanishado Gavo. So more that I learn Mandukya Upanishad, more better clarity I'm getting on each verse of Bhagavad Gita. And today's session was brilliant. It touched every heart of every chapter in Bhagavad Gita. Say it chapter 6, say it chapter 2, say it chapter 13. It was a brilliant, brilliant session, and I will not hold more. It's time for you to also wrap up. Thank you very, very much, Shekharji. Amazing session.
Thank you, Vijay. That's why I also summed it up with the Omkara meditation. And I said, we haven't done Omkara meditation for a long time. I brought back the Omkara meditation today, so that you can understand the linkage of what we learned 2 years ago and what we
Yes.
are learning today is exactly the same seventh mantra. That's all.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vijay. So with this, we'll stop here. We'll continue next week. Don't miss the 3-4 sessions. They are brilliant sessions because the commentary on that by Shankaracharya is absolutely amazing. It will give you a lot of clarifications, and ultimately it will leave you with the final thought on consciousness. How to view consciousness, Gauradacharya and Shankaracharya will ultimately bring it out to you. After that, it is left to you to meditate on that aspect of consciousness. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste, Shekharji. Thank you
Namaste,
so much.
Shekharji.
Thank you.
Namaste,
Thank you.
Shekharji. Thank you.
Namaste,
Namaste,
Agita.
Shekharji.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.